Can goldfish survive the winter on a partially frozen pond? Before I had my pond, I used to ask this question, can they survive? And I was worried about having the goldfish die out in the winter. But goldfish can and do indeed survive in the winter with a partially frozen pond. As you can see, it's fall at the pond and things are starting to cool off a little bit. And towards the end of the fall, we'll start to get the first snow flurries. And that's when things get cold. That's also when I stop feeding the fish. You can see here that we have a little bit of snow coming down. The pond is partially frozen, but the fish are still active during this time. I sometimes feed them still towards the end of the fall. So when should you feed your fish? So I like to feed my fish from the beginning of spring all the way up to late fall. So really after the cold months are gone and after there is no more ice and things are starting to warm up. Even in late fall here, we have a lot of ice over the pond. It's almost impossible to feed the fish. The fish also don't want to come up. They want to stay at the bottom where the water is warm. So I don't feed the fish during this time. Goldfish are very resilient, and then in the winter, when the pond starts to freeze over, they're going to go and seek out the warmer spot of the pond, which is usually at the bottom, and that's where they hibernate and they stay there and they use as little energy as possible. They actually make alcohol in their bodies to stay warm, but they do survive by seeking out pockets of warmer water while also conserving energy. In the winter in my area, we have a lot of thaw and freeze cycles. I never feed the fish during these cycles. The goldfish are at the bottom of the pond, and if they want to eat, they'll go ahead and eat any algae that's left over. So my pond has frozen over, and you can see the fish are still swimming in it. There's one right there, and then there's another one right here, and you can see definitely ice. So my pond is about 3 feet deep at the deepest part of the pond, and only about the first couple of inches, 2 to 3 inches, freeze over in the winter. So once spring comes around again, that's when I'll go ahead and feed the fish, as you see here, and I'll start the feeding cycle all over again. From early spring till late fall. So in the spring, I also take the opportunity to clean out the pond, to clean out the filters, and basically get the pond ready for the season where the fish are going to be more active, and you really want to make sure that you have a nice, clean, and healthy pond, and in turn your fish will be healthier as well. So as you can see, goldfish do survive in the winter. They do survive when the pond freezes over. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, put a like, check out my channel, and we'll see you in the next video.